Hi guys, today's lesson is about division of powers. One more time, make sure you know which one is the base and which one is the exponent. So when we're dividing, remember it could look like a fraction. So this is rule number 7. What happens when we are dividing powers with the same base? So x to the 6th is being divided by x to the 4th. So this is what it really means. All these x's on the numerator are being multiplied, and then the whole thing is been divided by all the x's on the bottom. What happens is in a fraction, if you have the same number, same factor on the top and the same factor on the bottom, they cancel out. So then you're left with x to the second power. And this gets us our rule that a to the m divided by a to the n is equal to a to the m minus n. So all you have to do is subtract the numerator exponent from the denominator exponent from the numerator exponent. So 6 minus 4 is equal to 2. And so let's look at this example. I know it's really tiny, so you may want to write it down. And we're going to look again at just the matching coefficient. So this is m squared divided by m to the fifth, and then n to the fourth divided by n to the third. So we subtract 2 minus 5 for the m and 4 minus 3 for the n, which simplifies to m to the negative third and n to the first. You cannot leave your answer with a negative exponent, so that goes into the denominator and it becomes n over m to the third. Let's try some got it problems. For now, I want you to ignore any questions that have fractional exponents. So we're only going to be working with a whole number or integer exponents. So here we have k and j. We're going to look at k first and then j. So it turns out k is going to be 6 minus 1 and j is going to be 2 minus 5, which if you simplify becomes k to the fifth and j to the negative third. You cannot leave your answer with a negative exponent, so the j goes to the denominator and that's your final answer. In the second one, in D, it's going to be minus 3 minus 5 for A and 7 minus 2 for B. So it becomes A to the negative eighth and B to the fifth. Again, the A has to go in the denominator so that the exponent becomes positive. Here we have a whole lot of variables, but don't get confused. Do x's and then y's and then z's. And so it's 4 minus 4, minus 1 minus 5, and 8 minus 1. And so x becomes to the 0 power, y becomes to the 6th power. I think there is something wrong here. Just give me a moment. All right, so here you want to pay a little bit attention because it's a minus 1 minus negative 5. It becomes minus 1 plus 5, which gives us 4. The x to the 0 simplifies to 1. And so your final answer is going to be y to the fourth times z to the seventh. Now here we have rule number 8, which is a quotient to a power. That means we have a fraction that is being raised to a power. And what this means is it's 2/3 times 2/3 times 2/3 4 times, which really simply becomes 2 to the fourth over 3 to the fourth. So when we have a quotient inside, you're just simply going to distribute the exponents. The rule is a over b to the m power is equal to a to the m divided by b to the m. So let's try some sample questions. Here is a very simple one. This one is slightly tricky, but you can do this. Remember that if we have a quotient inside, each part will get squared, and so it will become 4 squared over x to the 3 times 2, which is 6. And you leave your answer like that. If you want to simplify it, you can, and it's 16 over x to the 6th. I'd like you to give me both answers if possible. Here are some more complicated ones. This question, 2x to the sixth divided by y to the fourth, is being raised to the negative third power. Remember that if the exponent is negative, you need to change the numerator to the denominator or the denominator to the numerator. With a fraction, it's super easy. All you have to do is flip the fraction so that the exponent that is outside becomes positive, like so. And now it's going to be y to the fourth to the third power, which is going to be multiplied. And then it's going to be 2x to the sixth, also to the third power. And remember that each little part inside the product gets the exponent. The second one, same thing. If you have a negative exponent, you're simply going to flip the fraction, and then each part gets squared. The other way is a little bit more complicated. I gave the negative exponent to each part and then moved things around till all the exponents were positive. Either way, the answers will still be 25b squared over a squared. And that is it for today. Goodbye.